step away from it. There could be things that, I don't know, didn't make sense. And until you kind of broke it down and thought about, okay, well, how does this make me feel? You sit with the feeling, it kind of disarms you. Emotional. Everybody's an emotional being. That's a stupid thought. But it's just to say, like, I learned this from a therapist of mine and a psychology course. So maybe this makes me a eugenicist or whatever the word is. I don't know. But anyways, if you're in a heated moment with somebody, the not the proper, because I'll use the word proper. Fuck it. No, I'm saying it with my chest, and I'm going to be wrong. I might be wrong like an idiot, but I'm going to wear it.
Okay.
Correct thing to do, if you're really heated, is to take a second, tell the person, hey, look, I need a certain amount of time to cool off and think about this. I'll be back in this amount of time and we can talk about it then. Not just like have it out and finish it on a bad note, because there could be things that you didn't even think of if you took a second to step away from it. There could be things that, I don't know, didn't make sense. And until you kind of broke it down and thought about, okay, well, how does this make me feel? You sit with the feeling, it kind of disarms you, right? Anyways, I don't know how I'm going to end that sentence.
Sorry, I do have a reply. So,
yes.
A podcast, Therapy Chat by Sarah Payton, I was listening to recently. It talked about the idea of how we make agreements with ourselves about how we're going to express feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, playing off of that, I wouldn't say maybe I was volatile. Okay. We'll just say I used to be volatile because that way I'm not mellowing things out. But when I was in high school, I was essentially like the same politically as I am now. So you can imagine how that went for me. And I get into lots of debates and like, obviously you can see we're chatting now. I like to think I don't seem emotional. If I am, call me out. But I used to get, and then again, you're a very kind person to discuss with. So there's nothing really you've said that's been like, getting me up in arms. But like, people would say things to me like, oh, lesbianism isn't real. And like, obviously 15-year-old Janine wasn't going to be like, oh, let's rationalize that out now. Like, no, I was not calm. I cried. I remember like, the idea of emotional agreements is that you can make agreements with yourself to how you're going to interact with things. And so I often used to end up crying in these arguments because I don't know, I couldn't express anger properly. So I just start crying, which was super embarrassing and did not help my actual logics and facts. And I got to a point where I was like, no, like, I'm not going to cry in these situations anymore. Like, this is pathetic. I'm ruining my credibility. I'm done. But I got to a point where I was like, wow, like, now I discuss things, and not to be like, I don't feel anything, but I do feel super removed sometimes from like discussions. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to slap some theory on it. I'm just going to slap the podcast I'm talking about right now on it. And that way it's not doing the feelings. But at the same time, like, we were talking about how like dismissing feelings is kind of not a good thing. And I think the thing is like, if we do things because of our feelings, if we expect ourselves to be completely removed, like, how is that going to move anyone? How is that going to speak to anyone? Like, as much as like maybe getting upset ruins your credibility, like if you cry in front of someone, like, is there any more powerful way to say to someone that what you did hurt